Okay, so this is from the National Association of Insurance Commission. So content.naic.org. Right, and it reads, auto asset back securities are structured finance securities that are collateralized by auto loans or leases, such as those to prime, which are good credit standing, or subprime, which are poor credit standing borrowers. Right, so leases or loans are bundled into pools and transferred to a special purpose entity, which in turn transfers the pool to a bankruptcy remote trust. Payments on the underlying auto loans and leases are pooled into the trust, and the funds are used to pay note investors their respective principals and interest when due. Any leftover funds, known as excess spread or the net interest margin, are paid to the equity holders. This process is illustrated in the next scene, so stay tuned. All right, so let's take a look at a visual of how the auto loan process actually works, right? So your contract is originated at GM Financial. Let's just say you go to GM, you want to get a car, right? They're going to tell you, we need your social, we need your bank information, because the bank is going to need this. Whatever bank chooses to finance you. What they're really saying is whatever bank chooses to accept your profile and purchase it, right? That's how we're going to find your finance company, your quote unquote finance company. And these are just names they gave people. So one is your contract is originated with GM. Two is GM takes the contract from the warehouse, bundles them, and transfers them to a bankruptcy remote special purpose entity, which in turn transfers the contract to an asset back security. So at that point, it's an asset back securities trust. So GM just pledged your asset back security to a trust, right? And then what happens? That trust gets paid, and that's how they get the money. So 3 is the ABS trust becomes the permanent home for the contract. So that's why you can't get your contract, because what? Somebody else owns it. That special purpose entity owns it, right? And then what happens after that? The ABS trust uses the loan as collateral for corporate bonds that are sold to investors. So then they tell an investor, hey, look, we got this note. It's going to mature. It's going to continue to get money monthly. You should purchase it, right? And they sell it. That's how this scheme continues to make money for people. And then look, each month GM Financial's customers make payments on their auto loans. What happens? The ABS trust uses these monthly cash flows from GM Financial's customers to repay the bond investors. So basically monthly, your payments are going to bond investors. Y'all see that? It's not actually going to GM. It's going to GM, and GM is going to divert it to the bond investor. So GM Financial earns their net interest margin, which is the difference between the interest rate that our customers pay on their auto loans and the interest rate paid to the investor. Boom. Okay, so I know that was a lot, but essentially when you go into a automobile dealership and you go to finance a vehicle, they never give you full disclosure. Contracts say you have to have full disclosure of what's actually happening. Nobody tells you you're creating a security, even if they write it in fine print on a document. That is not full disclosure that you are creating a security, that you're going to use my signature, securitize it, and get the money back from that. That's what bankers call actual cash value, right? You're going to use that, pay for my property, and then I'm going to somehow invest in your company and give you back monthly payments for 72 months or whatever. It don't make sense. Make it make sense. If there was full disclosure, then where's the consideration? A lawful contract also has to have consideration. So consideration means I give you something, you give me something. If I gave you my signature, which essentially was securitized and finance the actual process, what did you give me? Because the seller of the vehicle, they give you a car, you give